It's 3-point lead in the championship, Roma, but if Amy can win, it'll lock it up on points, and it'll come down to the ultimate countback. So it is not done for yet. We're 12 minutes plus a lap away from finding out our first inaugural multi-round women's champion, and the gate drops. We are underway. It's a great start, Roma Edwards. She's definitely got the jump into the first corner. Can Amy come up on the inside? It's not going to be quite close enough. They're side by side. They know how important this start is. Roma and Amy, two of them, both get brilliant starts. There's got Taylor right in behind them as well, so that's your 1, 2 and 3. They've been 1, 2 and 3 the entire campaign. Can we see it carry on as Roma Edwards on the Myrtle Best Build Honda? She has got the advantage so far. Amy Roberts in behind Taylor Rampton there. Mel Patterson, a great start from Mel on Patterson O'Connor KTM. That'll be her sitting in 4th place. A good start from all 10 of our lady competitors. But it was Roma that turned up today. She had the advantage in a dominant display in race number 1. Amy's the one with the work to do here because Roma's got the points lead in the championship. She can hang on here. This will be the inaugural multi-round series women's championship. But look at Amy. She knows how important it is to not let Roma get into a groove. She's going to have to try and pull out all the tricks here. It's a great start from Mel Patterson. She's up into 3rd place ahead of Taylor Rampton now. So that's exciting times. We've got Brianna Rogers there as well. You can see her in about 5th or 6th place as this scintillating women's championship. The first time in motorcycling New Zealand history we've had a multi-round New Zealand women's motocross series, and also the first time they've been a part of our big New Zealand senior champ. So a cool time for the ladies in the sport, and they have repaid it in spades by putting on an absolute show. Roma Edwards goes inside, Amy goes outside. There's going to be dual lines and different lines, passing opportunities all on here. 12 minutes plus a lap, that's all it's going to be, and certainly the pace at the front is electric. We've got Taylor's got herself up into 3rd place ahead of Mel Patterson, so that's 3rd and 4th place. We then got Brianna Rogers on that smaller powered 125. She's just launched herself into a quality 5th place, and she'll be looking to try and carry on her perfect run of 5 consecutive 4th place finishes. She could come up and get herself into that top 4, but the battle at the front is what we're looking out for here at the moment. The 79 Myrtle Best Build Honda, Roma Edwards ahead of the 43, the Alten Window Systems Blackwood Yamaha of Amy Roberts. These two have just been an absolute class above. It all started at the Summer Cross, where these two put on a real show, and ever since then, every motocross event we've been to, these two have been absolutely inseparable. And now only a 1.6 second advantage to Roma Edwards, but this is going to feel pretty good for her. She did this in style in the early morning's race. It's Amy that's got to find something special. There is Taylor Rampton ahead of Mel Patterson, so that's 1.9 seconds between 3rd and 4th place. And then we've got Brianna Rogers on the Craig Stevens motorcycles. Rogers MX supported YZ125, so that's 5th place for her. She's had 3 4th placings here yesterday, a 4th place here this morning, so she'll be looking to try and go one better and get herself in that perfect 4th streak carrying on. Brianna Roberts, a great start from Brianna. She's there on the John Roberts contracting, supported YZF 250. That's 6th place for Brianna. And then go to Holly Russell in 7th. Ella Burns is in 8th. Olivia Singer and Brooke Galley running out our top 10 high-quality ladies field. But it's certainly still advantage Roma Edwards as far as this championship's concerned. She leads this one, and it's Amy that needs to try and win it if she wants to become the women's champion.
You know, Brad, in all honesty, who wins may the best of them win. But in some ways you want Amy to win from the point of view of then they will have won exactly the equal amount of races, because it's one of those trophies, if ever you've seen it, you'd want to cut it in half and give them half each. It's a shame that somebody's got to be second, isn't it? But one of them will be, and that's all the result of, because in our countback system, at the end of this race, if it was to be a win to Amy, you'd say, how many races have they won? Amy's won 4, Roma's won 4. How many seconds? Amy's had 4, Roma's had 4. You go to third, so none of them have had anything worse than a second. So if you actually say that it is a dead heat on equal points, but then of course we come down to what we call the countback, and that's where we get down to the result of the last race. After all other scenarios, it is the last choice, and that would be that whoever has won it, in that case my example I'm using, it's Amy, but you actually sort of really do want to say it's just the best. And look at this, Roma, man, she came out of the block earlier today, and that first race was totally dominant. She leads this one at the moment, putting in the immaculate performance. This is absolutely incredible. The British champion, yes indeed, the all UK champion in 2022. What a year she's had, and the preparations she put in, the commitment she's made for the sport to her mum and dad all those years ago. Do you remember the program on 7 Sharp? I'll never forget the reporter, Michael Holland, saying how sorry he felt for Roma's dad to have had 4 daughters that all wanted to ride motocross. And he literally said, oh, what a father. I'll never forget the comment. It was a beautiful story. And to Michael Holland and the 7 Sharp team, I really hope that maybe the family could make a sort of a link back to 7 Sharp and say, hey, do you remember that story all those years ago? Well, their daughter has become number 1 NZ, and that's the potential of what we got. This is a magic story. Yes, indeed, Roma and her 3 sisters. What about we go back to older sister Sky as well? She was a dominant women's racer as well, and a former champion at that. So what a cool story to tell. Are you in a family that's got 2 New Zealand motocross champions? Well, the King family can say that, and not many others, and now the Edwards family could say that as well. Oh, the stories are beautiful. And speaking about beautiful, all of our ladies in the sport are. We've got Taylor back there in the 3rd place, but these 2 ladies going for the glory. Look at the jumping they're doing. Look at the excitement levels they've got. Look at the talent levels they've got. These are ladies of championship endeavours, and they're putting on a magic bit of moto. Look at them. Here's another change coming up. Of course, yesterday when they got the rapids, they went right. Today they go left and come back over it in a completely opposite direction, come down underneath the pylon. So it really uses the old famous skyline jump through there that we had for many years, and a lot of you might recall that as they went around. One thing that hasn't changed is the position of the pylons here over the years. So the 2 of them, one up at the top of Total Energy and the other one over here by what's now Rapids Jet, used to be Skyline, is just sort of a part of the landscape that we all know and remember so much. Some great stories to tell about a great place. And well, we've been here for 40 years. Digger McEwen started just down the road in the industrial block. It moved to this bit of land. It's been elongated and changed with the addition of the highway that wasn't there in the original days, and all thanks to Taupo District Council. You've been absolutely awesome to be behind this club and their endeavours, and great news to hear that the club has secured an extended lease on this property to make sure that motocross stays right here at the edge of Taupo town for many good years to come. We love it. We love coming to Taupo, and the moto people have spent plenty of money in Taupo, so Taupo's stood to be a winner as well. But more importantly, the old cliche, the sport's the winner. And let's see who can be the best sport. Who's the best woman in the country? We're about to find out over the next 5 minutes. Bring it on.
Yeah, 5 minutes to go. Roma is 3.7 seconds ahead, and have a look at it. You wouldn't have been able to write a story like this one. We had the first 2 races won by Roma. Then between Rotorua and the first 2 yesterday, Amy Roberts went on a 3-race winning streak, and then you thought it couldn't not be Amy that wins his title. Roma argued back yesterday afternoon and took the race win, and ever since then, Roma Edwards has turned up, won the one this morning, and now has a 3.8 second lead, so it matched for lap times on that, but Amy's running out of laps, 4.5 minutes to go. She needs something special here if she wants to try and take that crown. Anything's possible, but look out for Roma Edwards. Is celebrating 50 years of Honda in New Zealand, and what a way that would be to celebrate them. And as far as the industrial landscape of New Zealand motocross, we've had KTM win with Hamish Harwood, we've had Kawasaki win with Cody Cooper, Yamaha win with Maximus Purvis, and now Honda is about 4 minutes plus a lap away from adding another manufacturer to our New Zealand motocross crown. So that's a pretty cool story for the industry and for the whole sport. And can it be Roma Edwards this year? She's got that 3.8 second advantage in the dying stages of the final race of our Senior Women's Championship. And it's just been spectacular, to say the least. Shout out to Taylor Ramden and Browner Rogers. They are 3rd and 4th to carry on their brilliant streak over the last couple of rounds. And Mel Patterson doing a fabulous job as always in 5th place on the Patterson O'Connor Motorcycles KTM.
All right, of course, Super Dad Brian was one of the legends of our sport from 40 years ago. 40 years ago, in fact, what was his championship year? I think he won in 85, 87, thereabouts. Along those few years, of course, there was a time when he had his brother, of course. It's another family one, of course. His brother Mark was a 250 champion. And you also had a younger brother Shane, who was, I think, got a 125 championship. So there's a 3-member family that were all NZ number ones in respective classes at times. That's my memory on that. So when we talk about those with 2, we can certainly add to that as well. Remember, in fact, we'll put the Kings in here. We want to put Damien into that group as well. So we'll make sure we cover all of those bases, and thoroughly deserve to as well. So 3 Kings, 3 Pattersons, 2 Edwards. Here we go. The story go on. And there'll be a few others we'll pick up in our memory cells as well. And what about the fact that we've got that acclaimed position of those family members that have won a 125, the equivalent of an MX1 or MX2. They've been called different names over the years, like 250 and 500s, but effectively the same group. But here she comes, on track, on target, on focus, and right on the button with 2:24 to go. And in fact, that's exactly one lap. That's exactly her lap time, a 2:24.34, and she had 2:24 to go when she went over. So I would believe that this is her penultimate lap. She'll get the white flag next time, so we'll look out for that one. So wow, there we go. That was pretty close to the wire, because we saw it yesterday that some of the riders come around, and of course there's still 10 seconds on the clock, and I've still got another whole lap to go even before the flag will come out. But it's all based on time plus the lap, and that's exactly what we've got at the moment. Roma Edwards, the best time here at a 2:24.37. That compares to Amy and her best at 2:25.2. So there is 0.9 of a second with them by their times as well. There's been so many stories to tell of how even they are. Roma started in domination. She looks like she's going to end with domination, but in between times, remembering Amy Roberts came along and stole 3. So she stole the last at Barclutha and the first 2 at Rotorua. So all of a sudden, from being down 2, she was 3-2 up. And it looked like with yesterday's race she was going to take the next one as well, until Roma had another idea about it. And had Roma not had the strength to do that moto yesterday, it may have been a different situation with what we got today. Man, talk about dig deep, talk about character. If you are going to congratulate, please make sure you go to congratulate the other one as well, because as we're saying, if ever there was an example to say they are first equal, this would have to be it in our sport. It is no better case than saying everything is the same. Number of wins, number of seconds, number of lap times, number of laps covered, number of positions that they've had during a race, with the distance apart not being any more than about 80 odd metres. So it's pretty incredible, folks, and it's our women's motocross. We've come down to the most exciting finish of the entire championship with our all-up women's class.
All right, it is coming down to the crunch, only 30 seconds remaining on that clock, so I'd say that's probably going to evaporate before she comes around. I reckon the white flag's going to be ready and waiting. We'll have to wait and see what that clock does. It's starting to come down to the crunch. It's starting to get pretty exciting, and like we touched on all throughout the series, the first time in motorcycling New Zealand's history we've had a multi-round New Zealand Women's Championship, and what a cool occasion and what a treat they've put on for us. Here is the dynamic Roma Edwards with a couple of seconds to go before the white flag comes out. Here it is, the white flag, and now 1 lap to go for Roma Edwards on her almost victory lap, as Amy Roberts is absolutely right there, but it's now out to 9 seconds the advantage, so it's Roma's to lose for sure. And the final lap of our multi-round series, it's been absolutely spectacular, and full credit to those 2 ladies out in front.
Well, they've each been Women's Cup winners in the past, Bradley, the most recent being Amy, so effectively it's the Women's Cup as it used to be called for our women's class. She hit the number 1 plate on her bike, and she then defaulted on the number 1 and put it back to number 3. Of course, we hadn't had a Women's Championship for a couple of years, so she, I suppose, you know, there's a target when you put the number 1 on the bike, and she surrendered the number 1, going back to her beloved number 43, and man, oh man, what an awesome racing we put in. We've been to events, you know, we've been to MX Fest, we've been to Summercross. Who's it going to be? One event it's one rider, the next event it's the other. We've been to the Waikato Champs, they both turned up there. Of course, for Roma, originally from Motueka in the beautiful Tasman region, but for the last year or more, the family has shifted for her motocross to be in the Bay of Plenty, to be closer to the hub, closer to the action, and I would suggest that is starting to pay rewards, and she will benefit from that in the next 2/3 of this lap. So close to being a New Zealand champion. Do you say from here it's hers to lose? It's a great commentator's cliche. No, I wouldn't say so. I think you can make a little mistake and she'd still pay. Different story if she had 200 metres on it, but here we are with the supercharged finale with us here at the moment. In fact, that deficit actually has crept out in her favour. So as she's going back along underneath Yamalube centre point, you actually see then that Amy's just going around to that corner. What's Amy thinking at the moment? What can she do with a lap to go? Is there a miracle to pull out of there, or is there going to be yet another twist in the tail for this one? Are you ready, folks? Are you ready for a big one? Putting your hands together. When they come past, wherever you are, for the spectators out here in the infield, please cheer for both the ladies as they come through. It does not matter for our sport who had won this. It did not matter. They are both beautiful ambassadors of our great sport of motocross. We are so lucky to have women like we have. Courtney, overseas in her first round this week, and congratulations. This morning, early our time, third in the first race of the World Championship. But right here, right now, it's Roma and Amy. And are we ready, Brad?
All right, here it is. This is going to be all pretty good. The checkered flag wave. It's a national championship for Roma. It's brilliant stuff on the Modal Best Build Honda. That will feel absolutely electric, and a special moment for Amy Roberts. She will come home in second place, but absolutely everything was given there, so that's going to feel pretty good. And the relief on their faces, it's been an absolutely epic 9-race campaign, and brilliant for Taylor Ramden, still in third place. That'll continue the streak of 8 finishes on the podium, so that's definitely a deserved 3 NZ for Taylor Ramden as she brings her Action Moto Kawasaki home for that one there. And a shout out to all 10 of our lady competitors, and a special moment for Ange McLeod down there, our part of our commission to women in motorcycle sports. A pretty awesome occasion our senior women have put on here, and in 3 weeks' time we'll do it all again at the Junior Motocross Championships, where we've got our Junior 85s and our Junior 125 250 Championships on the line there as well. It's a brilliant time for our ladies in the sport, and Roma Edwards crowned your inaugural senior women's champion as part of our senior motocross. It's absolutely brilliant. And there'll be jubilation and absolute scenes down on the podium. We've still got a few competitors out on track, one of them being Taylor Ramden on the 191, so she will come home and with that lock away 3 NZ for this one here. Brianna Rogers not with us at round number 2, but she has had a massive streak of 5 fourth place finishes, so she'll be jumping up the leaderboard well and truly, and looking out for her to defend her crown at the New Zealand Junior Motocross Championships in about 3 weeks' time. So fabulous scenes. Let's cross down to Neil, who'll digest all the action of our Senior Women's Championship, and what a special occasion. Over to you, Neil.
Oh man, this is something else, something unbelievable. We've seen it now with other forms of the sport. And, you know, you take, for example, the Aupiki women's rugby this year, and what our teams have done, and that they've had their christening. No, in fact, you know, people are saying, oh, we should have had more of them. You've got to start somewhere, and we finally have started. Not that we didn't recognise one before, but we finally put them into the senior nationals and given them the credits they deserve. So this is huge for our sport. I think this is a monumental moment. And to all those people, to Angela and Sandra behind the scenes, and our women's commission, giving women the recognition that they deserve across the board in our sport. We've got them in road racing, we've got them in moto trials. What about Hannah Rushworth, of course, the Australian moto trials junior champion. It's just one of the results in the last few years as well. Of course, our world woman road race star in Avalon Biddle, and plenty of others out there. What about in the cross-country scene? We've got a young lady at the moment, Charlotte Russ, who is turning heads with what she can do, and we're hoping that she gets an opportunity. Rachel Archer, of course, on that GNCC scene. What about Rachel? She does more of her racing in America than she does in New Zealand. In fact, we hardly get to see her back here at home at NZ. Recently just had her 21st birthday party. She had it with friends and family, and she's back overseas. She is #1 woman in pro off-road racing in America, bar none, beating all the Americans. It's not a subset class, folks. It is the championship class. So it's a pretty incredible result, and we congratulate her immensely. Just another of our superwoman stars that we are enjoying in our sport at the moment. Excuse me, just to wait now for Taylor, so let's get her up here. The number 3 for the day, and number 3 NZ, let's hear it, Taylor Ramden. Well done, Taylor. Third, again, do you want to count them? Hey, what's it like out there?
It's pretty rough out there, but just still having fun. So.
Still having fun, pretty cool to see. So you pleased you decided to come and do the champs this year?
Yeah, definitely pleased, and I'm happy and healthy, so that's all we can ask for.
Indeed. Hey, what does it inspire you to do again? Are you going to try and do more training, and we'll see you back? You might get married before the next one.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, more training, more riding, just have fun.
Well done. Congratulations. There she is, number 3 for the day, and number 3 NZ for the 3 rounds as well. Spectacular to see. There's got to be a loser out of that battle for first and second, and it's a terrible one to use. But our runner-up this year, let's hear it, Amy Roberts. Where's the fans as well? So Amy's had an exceptional wardrobe, an exceptional bike, an exceptional team, but couldn't quite put on that exceptional finish, Amy. But hey, congratulations. Please feel so honoured about what you've achieved. It is mega.
Yeah, no, thank you. I'm pretty gutted. Not going to say a whole lot, but yeah, I put the Willis gear on, but couldn't quite do it. So yeah, well done to Roma. Yeah, she rode awesome.
Yes, you did indeed. All right, this inspires you to go back and try harder again, Amy?
Yeah, no, definitely. I'll come back next year and try a bit harder.
Yeah, well done. Great story. That's positive to hear indeed. Hey, and for Honda, but who have we got, folks? We've got a new number 1 NZ in women's motocross. The first official women's championship at our main senior nationals. What an evolution and a revolution for our sport. Let's hear it, Miss Roma Edwards. Does it out there on the Motul Best Build Honda as well, and that gives Honda some amazing credit. Roma, I hope you can smile. I hope you can share the joy with us. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much. That was so tough. I didn't think I was going to do that. Amy's riding like unbelievable, and it was such close racing, and I'm so happy. All that work just paid off, and I'm so happy.
I think for me the turning point was that moto yesterday when it looked like Amy had got you and you decided to ride and then claim that one to level the score. If you hadn't have done that, you would have been on the back foot today, but that was your ride of the weekend. Do you feel so now in reflection of the motos?
Yeah, I'm so happy. This is what racing is all about, just going back and forth with each other. Hopefully more girls can come out next year and yeah, keep it going.
Yeah, well done. All right, up on the podium, well done. The result of that race is the result of today's overall, and it's the result of our NZ Championship. And there we are, Pirelli taking a double on that one. Honda, Yamaha and Kawasaki for the manufacturers, and 3 glamorous and yet awesome athletes and our women out there. So well done to Taylor, to Amy and to Roma. Well done. Yeah.